Good morning, everybody. It is January 30th. We are almost at the end of January and close to being halfway through the winter months. I have something I want to share with you that I read back in November 21st. It was sent out by my opponent, and it's this. I'm going to read the first paragraph to you, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. It says, Unleashing PA's Energy Industry. House and Senate Republicans joined union and industry leaders Tuesday to celebrate Pennsylvania's departure from its Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, which is also called RGGI, as well as landmark permitting reforms that together will create renewed opportunities to grow our energy industry and economy. Well, this really frustrated me because as a person that has children and grandchildren that are growing up and living here in northeastern Pennsylvania, I'm concerned about our environment. I'm concerned about, a lot of things that chemicals and so forth can do to our environment. So I was like, why in the hell would she be okay with this? It doesn't benefit the citizens in any way, shape, or form. It only benefits the electric company. And if you think this is going to save us money in our electric bills because they're not being held to a higher standard, you're wrong. And I will say that a meeting I went to this past Wednesday, which was for landowners in the Asylum Township area, and it was talking about the data centers. Well, this organization that had the meeting was a group of basically landmen that wanted to come out and organize all of the folks that live in that area and to talk about how wealthy they're going to make them because we want to buy your land. Well, I got to tell you, it was a pretty full house in the Wyalusing Fire Company's community room. And, they started to, well, first of all, they weren't going to let me in because I'm not a landowner, which I completely understand. I was fine with that. But I was told that if I stayed in the back and I stayed quiet and didn't ask any questions, I could stay. So I agreed to those terms. I didn't agree that I wouldn't say anything afterwards, but I agreed to the terms while I was there. So I'm not breaking any, violations that I committed to. I sat in the back. I didn't ask questions, but I did talk to people as they were going out. Which he didn't tell me I couldn't do. So here's what I found out. I found the reason why they took us out of RGGI, and that is for these data centers. Now, data centers consume a bunch of water and tremendous amounts of electricity. And these guys are telling everybody that they don't, that there are data centers out there that has a closed loop system and they only use water every so often. But that is not the case with many of them. Why else would they be putting it by a river or a water source like our Susquehanna River? So that's number one. Number two, the reason why it is low, they chose Asylum Township is because it's close to the Panda. Now, you may say, well, I didn't know Wysox had a Panda. Well, they do. The Panda is an electric generator source that's close by. So the electric that gets generated there that has been being distributed to the folks in Bradford County is now going to be probably the sole supplier for the data centers. So any electricity that you think is going to come your way and be cheaper, because from what I've been told, when they were told electricity was going to be cheaper, once they put Panda in, has been a lie, because everybody's electric bills are going up, especially in Bradford County, even though they have an electric manufacturing plant right there using natural gas in Bradford County. Their electric bills haven't gone down. Because let me tell you, folks, when they're building these places, the generators, they've got to recoup the money somehow. And how are they going to do that? They're going to do it by increasing your electric bill to pay for these things. And if they're telling you they're not doing that, they're lying to you. So, you know, I'm really upset with the person I'm going to be running against for throwing bullshit at people, saying that this is such a great thing for Pennsylvanians. No, it's a great thing for the electric companies. It is not a great thing for Pennsylvanians. It is not a great thing to take farm land from folks that have been, the land has been in their family 5 or 6 generations. I felt so bad for an older gentleman that was there, and they're saying, but you're going to have all this money. And he said, point blank, money isn't everything. Everybody clapped. Everybody that was left, because a lot of people had walked out halfway through the presentation. Everybody that was left clapped for this gentleman because he spoke their truth. Folks, there are some people that will always measure things around their wealth. Well, you know, there's so much more to wealth than monetary. And, you know, I felt so bad for these folks. I spoke to one lady and, you know, I asked her why she was walking out in the middle of the presentation. And she said, look, I live in the trailer park, and the trailer park is in this loop. She said, I don't have the money to move my house, and I won't get any money from this land deal. She said, the person I rent from will get all this money. Where am I and all of the other people that are in my trailer park going to go? They're all very low income folks. A lot of them are on Social Security, disability, you know, trying to raise kids on limited resources. And where are these folks going to go? I mean, this is one piece of evidence that says it's optimum for these people to want this land, because they can kick out these trailer parks and not have to worry about these people, where they're going to go, because they're not worrying about them. Their main concern is making people wealthy, so they say, at the benefit of also them, because they're getting a percentage of what they're trying to negotiate a price for data centers. And I got to tell you, it just doesn't sit well with me. Now, I know these data centers need to come in, and I appreciate that. I'm not against data centers, but when it impacts families and generational farmland and low-income folks, dude, I'm here to fight for you. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, I'm going to fight for you. So listen up. Look at things that they've done in the past that helps you make sense of what they're talking about right now. And this, my friends, if you want a copy of it, message me and I'll send it to you. I get her newsletters all the time. She is spending thousands and thousands of dollars, money that I don't have, but I use my posts, my reels, my videos to help educate you. Now, the money that she's using, where's she getting that from? I could tell you. She's getting it from PAC money, especially insurance PAC money. And she chairs the insurance committee in the House. Sounds a little fishy to me. So, folks, look into what they're trying to do in Asylum Township and what they're proposing to do to these folks. I know some landowners have already signed on to this. But I gotta tell you, it's not going to be for everyone. And I know they have to put it someplace, but put it someplace where people aren't living. We've got land that's available for that. So I'm begging you, do your due diligence. Research everything. Research the voting record of my opponent. You know who it is. I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to give her any more publicity than she already has, because in the last 2 weeks, I've received 2 mailings for her. And if she's doing mailings to each household in her district, my friends, that's thousands of dollars to do mailings. Where's she getting this money? Ask yourself. Thousands of dollars for each piece of mail that she sends out to you. So I don't have that kind of money. I might do a couple of mailings if I have the money, but for right now, you get to see my lovely face. So I want to thank you all for your attention. I know this was a very long video, and but it was packed with information. If you want more information, I have the slides that were presented at the meeting. I'd be happy to share with you. I'll be happy to do anything just to educate you more on what's going on, what the truth is, not what they're telling you to believe. So for that being said, I'd like to say have a wonderful day. The sun is shining, and it is Friday. For those of you who only work Monday through Friday, for those of you who have to work the weekends and nights, God bless you. Stay safe when you're out on the roads, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Peace. Love y'all, and have a wonderful day.